Hey, Phil Ebner here, and in this video, I want to talk and share my thoughts about the best online course platforms for anybody teaching their own online courses. In this video specifically, I'm going to be talking about hosted marketplaces compared to self-hosted options or self-hosting platforms, which we'll be covering in a separate video. If you're following along, we've written a complete guide to this topic, and I'll link to it below if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else. If you're on onlinecoursemasters.com, great. I'm so happy that you're here watching this video and reading this guide. We hope that it helps you out. So, what is what we call a hosted marketplace? This is a platform where it's a bunch of online courses where anybody can basically put an online course, and it's on a branded platform that's not your own website. An example of this would be Udemy.com. Udemy.com is basically a marketplace for online courses. It has thousands of courses from thousands of instructors, and it's generally an easier place to just get started and put your online courses. Other hosted marketplaces include sites like Skillshare.com, Skillsuccess.com, CyberU.com. There are also other platforms such as Lynda.com, PackPublishing.com. These are other websites that are a little bit more exclusive, but I do consider them in this hosted marketplace type of platform. It just takes a little bit of extra effort to get your courses on there. Places like Udemy.com, Skillshare.com, you could literally sign up today, put your course up there, submit it. And of course, there are going to be some rules and requirements for the quality and the topics. But as long as the quality of your course is good and it's a topic that is allowed, generally your course can be published on these marketplaces. Now, let's talk a little bit about the pros and cons of the hosted marketplace. So the hosted marketplace, one of the pros is that it's just easier to get going. You don't have to build out your own website. You don't have to deal with things like domain names or hosting yourself, installing plugins or tools, paying for the service. These platforms are generally free to get started on, which is awesome. Another major pro is that it has a built-in audience of people looking for courses to buy, which is awesome because on Udemy, if someone's on there, they are already in the mindset of, I am going to buy an online course. And if they type in the right keywords and they end up on your course landing page and they end up liking what they see, they might buy it, which is a lot easier to get going and to start making money than building up your own website, building up your own audience. Now, one versus the other, is one better, is one worse? There's lots of things that go into that, and hopefully this guide, this video will help you kind of understand those things. But if you're just wanting to get going, whether you have a course already or you're thinking about creating a course, a hosted marketplace is going to be easier just to get your course out there and probably easier to start making money from it. Another platform, another pro for this is that these platforms already market the courses on there. They already market their own platform because they want to succeed. Udemy does a ton of advertising on Facebook and Google. Skillshare does a lot of work with influencers to promote their platform. So you don't necessarily have to be a marketer to succeed on these platforms. Of course, it's going to help if you publish a course on any of these platforms. If you can market it, if you already have an audience, of course that's going to help, but you don't need to do that necessarily to have success. I know a lot of people who have taught the right course topic at the right time and put it on these platforms, and they've had a lot of success without any marketing. I'm not going to say that it's easy and that's going to happen for you, but it's possible. Another pro is that a lot of these platforms have cool tools to make your courses more engaging, such as assignments, quizzes, those kinds of features. All right, let's talk about the cons of this, the hosted marketplace. One of them is just the lack of control that you have. These platforms have their own rules regarding everything from what your content can be about, perhaps how long the content should be. Some of them, like the Lynda.com marketplace, they only allow exclusive courses to be on there, so you have to make your own unique course for that platform. Others, like Udemy and Skillshare, you can put your courses on both. So that is actually a pro for most of these platforms, is that you can put your courses on both options or both multiple platforms. But you do have to play by the rules. There's rules with how you can contact your students. You don't necessarily, or in most of these platforms, you won't get their email addresses so that you can contact them. There's no integrations with your own email marketing tools or other apps that you might have that make a course more engaging, such as live streaming or certain quiz type apps. Some of it is pretty basic on these platforms. Also with pricing, that's a big one. With Udemy, over the past several years, we've seen that the typical course sale is between $10 and $20. They have consistently tried to increase that over time. But if you put your course on Udemy, expect people to buy it for $10 to $20. There are some caveats that go into that. You can opt out of their promotions, but for having success on Udemy, I would suggest being a part of their marketing promotions. That's why we would be on that marketplace. So if you do that, though, your courses are going to be sold for rather cheap compared to what you can sell them on your own platform, which we'll talk about in another video about self-hosted options. With Skillshare, it's a membership model. So people who purchase the Skillshare membership get access to all of the courses. So maybe that's good for you, maybe it's not. They pay based off of the number of minutes that students consume your content. So if you have a lot of popular courses, then you're going to get paid more. But this is, again, that lack of control that you have by putting your course on a marketplace. And you're always at the whim of rule changes or platform changes. Platforms can shut down, which has happened in the past with courses of mine. So you just don't have that control. And so there are some of those cons. Now, those are the pros and cons. We've kind of covered what a hosted marketplace is. Now, I do want to get into our top recommendations. And again, if you're following along, we're going to go into a little bit more detail on the guide, which we've linked to below. But first is Udemy. Udemy.com is the biggest player in this industry in terms of a marketplace where anybody with skills who want to teach them can put up an online course. Currently, they have over 30 million students. They have tens of thousands of instructors. They teach courses and support over 50 languages, and students from around the globe are taking courses on Udemy. And it's the place that I got started myself. It's the place that I continue to have the most success. And it's the place where I've seen the most success stories of other online course creators, students of mine, friends of mine. Most of them love teaching on Udemy. I truly believe that Udemy is the best place to just get started, to put a course, to see if you can start making money from it. And one of the questions that I always get is it too late though to put my course on Udemy? It seems like it's overcrowded, it's too competitive. And yes, of course, there are some topics and things that are crowded, that are a little bit more competitive, but still, I see new instructors starting and having a lot of success, more success than I ever had when I just got started. So I truly believe Udemy is the best place because it has such a wide range of topics. So a platform like Skillshare, which is my number 2 recommendation, while I definitely think most people should put their courses on Skillshare just to see how they do, it does tend to cater to more creative and business lifestyle type courses, not so much tech courses. That being said, they're continuing to grow themselves, and I believe they will continue to grow and expand into other types of courses, but it will do better for some creators and not others. But back to Udemy, because they have such a wide audience, because they have had success in so many different types of topics, I think that most people, most of you out there who are going to teach any type of course might find success on Udemy. So Udemy is number one. Number two for me is Skillshare. I've had a lot of success on Skillshare. Granted, I do teach creative type courses. I also know that there are lots and lots of other people who have had success on Skillshare, and it's continued to grow and it's continued to be consistent. So when coming up with this list of my best recommendations, one of the things that I did consider was looking at past performance on these platforms, not just for myself, but from other instructors as well. And Skillshare has been one of those ones that has been consistent. They are legitimate. There's a lot of these platforms that pop up. I get emails from new platforms every day wanting me to put my courses on their platform. Oftentimes, I don't even do it anymore because it's too time consuming, and I could tell that it's this new startup that I'm not willing to spend that time or risk putting my courses on their platform. In the past, I used to do it more, and yes, I had some success with other new platforms, but a lot of those either disappeared or it's just so inconsistent from month to month. But Skillshare, for me and for many others, has been very consistent and has continued to grow. There were a few years ago, there were a lot of instructors saying, "Oh, Skillshare is going to disappear. It's going to, crash. No one's going to be on Skillshare." But they've surprised a lot of people, and for the past 4 or 5 years, I've been on there, and it's been consistent and growing. So definitely recommend Skillshare. The next one that I've had a lot of success with and I would recommend trying to get on is sort of a hosted marketplace. It's StackSocial.com, which is an umbrella company that includes other companies, course platforms like StackSkills.com and SkillWise.com, and lots of other websites. But they are great at promoting courses. So what they do is they have a lot of affiliate partnerships with bigger brands such as Mashable, Business Insider, Huffington Post, Engadget. These are platforms where if you have your courses promoted by StackSocial, then you might find articles and promotions of your courses on these big online brands. They actually host their courses currently on StackSkills.com. I know this is confusing, but StackSkills.com. And that's actually, to make it even more confusing, that platform is powered by Teachable.com. So Teachable is one of our options for self-hosting our own courses, but they also offer more enterprise solutions for bigger companies like StackSocial, or Stack Commerce is actually the larger umbrella, or the behind-the-scenes sort of course creator commerce side of it, e-commerce side of it. But all that being said, the world of Stack is a great place to get on. Now, compared to Skillshare and Udemy, it's not as easy to get your courses on Stack or to get promoted by Stack. You do have to do a little extra work. They're not looking for all types of courses. They really try to find courses and put together course bundles that are on topics that are hot and trending. But if you can connect with them and you do get approved through their application process, then they are a great one. And again, consistent, and they actually pay. There's some platforms that I put my courses on and they've never paid me. So these ones, it's a legitimate company and they actually pay. So Udemy, Skillshare, Stack, and now some honorable mentions that have done well for me and others. In terms of platforms that anybody can put their courses on, pretty much Skill Success and CyberU.com. Both of these are smaller in terms of just overall number of students and sales, but both have been consistent, they're professional, and they make their payments every month. Actually, CyberU pays every quarter, so every few months, but they actually make their payments, which is good. So the cool thing about these platforms, CyberU, Skill Success, Udemy, Skillshare, is and Stack, you can put your courses on all of them and make money from all these platforms, creating several streams of income from one course, which is awesome. There's a couple other well-known publishers, Lynda.com I mentioned, Pact Publishing, pactpub.com. which is more geared towards programmers, and then myblueprint.com, which used to be craftsy.com, which is more geared towards creative arts and crafts types courses. These are all really great platforms to be on if you teach those types of skills, but most of their content is exclusive, or there's a much more rigorous process for getting your courses on there. But if you can, again, I would highly suggest it. I actually don't personally have courses on any of these platforms, but I know people who do. And for some instructors, they're making just as much as they do on Udemy or these other platforms through these three: Lynda, My Blueprint, Pack Publishing. So those are my recommendations for hosted marketplaces. I hope this makes sense to you. But what did I miss? I know that this is a world that is changing all the time, and maybe you have courses on other platforms that I missed. So I would love to hear your comments. So post below in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this in the guide, leave a comment below and let us know if there's other platforms that you have had success on. Let us know if there's ones that you would recommend staying away from. Or if you have questions about any of this, make sure you submit it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. And again, watch the next video, which is going to be on self-hosting options, either down below in this article or on my YouTube channel. All right, have a great day. Talk to you later.